I'm gonna break down what is the BOI report, why you should even care about it, and how to fill out the report step by step so that you don't make any mistakes that could wind up costing you thousands of dollars or even jail time. Hey friend, we make money here. You might be wondering, what even is the BOI report? Well, BOI stands for the Beneficial Ownership Information Report. This report is a part of a larger act that was passed by Congress in 2021. This act is called the Corporate Transparency Act. Congress wanted to make sure that companies engaging in money laundering, tax fraud, would no longer be able to continue to conduct those activities anonymously. And that's why, as of January 1st, we have to fill out the Beneficial Ownership Information Report. Don't try to say that 10 times fast. It's a tongue twister. At least 90% of small business owners will need to fill out this report. And so you might be wondering, are you in the 10% and don't even have to worry about filling this report? Cost of not filing is so much more than if you were to just file this paperwork for free and spend about 15 minutes of your time. This report is no joke. You need to make sure that you are actually exempt. And if you have any doubt, spend the time and fill out the report. When it comes to who is exempt from filling out the BOI report, it is sole proprietors and general partnerships. In other words, companies that did not file formation paperwork with their Secretary of State do not have to fill out the BOI report. In addition, nonprofits that have a 501c tax exempt status do not have to fill out this report. Lastly, if your business makes more than $5 million in annual revenue and employs over 20 people, you do not have to fill out this report. If you don't meet those 3 qualifications, you should fill out this report. The way that you access this report is you're going to go to Google and type in fincen.gov BOI report. You're going to click the first link that appears on Google. It's going to take you to this page. As you can see at the top, it's going to say Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. And so here on this page, you're going to see 2 sections, Prepare and File. Prepare is going to go over details. How do I file? How do I qualify for an exemption? And how do I get a fincen ID? And then File is going to say, file a report using the BOI e-filing system or create a fincen ID. And so if you'd like more details, because this report is so new, they have included a brochure and 2 videos. And so you're gonna click Get Started next to the BOI report filing. You do not need to worry about the Bank Secrecy Act, as that is for established financial institutions. So we have a couple of options. We can file through PDF, we can file online, or you can use a system-to-system API. The easiest and most straightforward option is to file this paperwork online. And so there's a warning that pops up. It says we are entering a U.S. government information system maintained and administered by the Department of Treasury. Yes, we agree and we are aware. And so there's 5 sections at the top. You're going to need to include your filing information, the information on your reporting company, the company applicant, as well as beneficial owners. If your business existed before January 1st of 2024, you do not have to worry about the company applicant. If your business was filed after January 1st, you will need to have this filled out, either by you or the person who is filing the BOI report for you. The first question is asking, what type of filing entity are you? You can hover over each option and it'll describe what each type of filing means. In this case, this is the initial filing because this is the first time we are filling out the BOI report. Today's date is January 7th. And then below we have the Privacy Act and Paperwork Reduction Act notice. You can read over this notice. It gives general information about why this report is important, as well as the expected timeline to get this report done. But you all know, if you have one business like a single member LLC or an S Corp, the paperwork should be very straightforward and take no longer than 15 minutes. Let's hit next. And then for part 3, it's going to ask you whether or not you want a fincen ID. I'm going to select this button as I know I'm going to have to maintain this report. And so with a fincen ID, it's going to make reporting a lot easier so that I don't have to continuously fill out the same information over and over again. And for the 4th part, it asks, are we a foreign pooled investment vehicle? No, we are not. So I'm not going to worry about that. And then it's going to ask for the reporting company legal name as well as any trade names and DBAs. So I'm going to type that in. Now that I've typed that information in, I'm going to scroll down and move on to form of identification. They're going to ask you to select a tax identification type. You can choose between an EIN, an SSN, or a foreign ID. We're going to go with EIN because that is directly tied to our business. And then you want to make sure to type in your EIN without any dashes. The next section is going to ask us for the jurisdiction of formation. So in this section, you're going to put what state your business was formed in. And then at the bottom, I put the current business address. This address should match the address that you had on your formation document. No need to give me a bear hug. If you find this content valuable, all you need to do is hit the like button and subscribe. Now it's going to ask you about the company applicant. If you had an existing company before January 1st of 2024, you're going to check this box and everything else will be grayed out. If you formed your business after January 1st, you will need to fill this out. And so I'm going to briefly cover it. For point 18, it's going to ask you for your company applicant's fincen ID. To give you an example, once I fill out this paperwork, if I were to file BOI reports for other businesses, you would put my fincen ID in this section. If not, you're going to need to fill out the rest of this information. And so this could be a really good side hustle or business in 2024 is helping other business owners fill out this paperwork. And so now that you have a good idea of this company applicant section, we're going to scroll back up and check this box as my business existed before this date. And then I'm going to select next. In this section, it's going to ask about the beneficial owners. Beneficial owners are people within the business that own more than 25% of the company. If you or your partners earn more than 25%, they will need to be included when filing this report. Point 35 is if the owner is a minor. I'm going to skip over this as this does not apply to me. And then it's going to ask for the fincen ID. I don't have one yet, but I will after submitting this document as I did check the box earlier. And then it's going to ask about exempt entity status. I am not exempt, so I'm going to move on. And then it's going to ask about my legal name as well as my date of birth. Moving on, it's going to ask about my personal address. Where am I currently living? I personally plan on moving in a couple of months, so I will need to submit another BOI report to factor in that I have moved to another place. Next, it's going to ask for a form of ID. It's going to ask for my driver's license, another state issued ID, a US passport or a foreign passport. And then it's going to ask for the identifying document number as well as the country and state. And then once I upload an image of my ID, I'm going to select next. On this last submit page, it's going to ask for my email as well as my first and last name. So I'm going to fill out my email and name. Then I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to select agree, and then I am a human, and then I'm going to submit the BOI report. With this BOI report, I was able to fill it out free of charge, and it took less than 15 minutes of my time. This is a simple and straightforward application. It just needs to be maintained. Some common mistakes that I don't want you to make is mixing your business and personal address. If they are the same, you still have time to get a virtual office. And the best place to get a virtual office is with Alliance Virtual. And the reason you would need one is because your business address is public record. People can easily look up your home address if it's used as your business address. So make sure to get that updated before you fill out the BOI report. The second common mistake is if any changes were to happen, like your name if you get married, or your business name if you decide to switch things up, you need to file this paperwork again with the most recent information to stay compliant. Thanks for joining me today. If you have any questions at all, let me know in the comments. And if you want to get free grant money that you do not have to pay back to grow your business, then check out this video right here.